In this daily drop, I'm going to talk about the difference between these and these. So let's go. All right, kids, back in the barn. And if you can see and hear what's going on, I am definitely not up to 100%. Some funny comments on yesterday's episode. And I'm just trying to get through the days until I am right where I like to be in terms of how I'm feeling. I'm just moving along, getting stuff done slowly and nowhere near at the speed I like to. But let's go ahead and talk about spinning platter hard drives and fast, sustainable read-write speed SSDs and the enormous difference it can make in your life. I think most of us have transitioned to SSDs in our daily work. I'm going to give you sort of a real world scenario or scenarios of why I'm probably never going to buy a spinning platter hard drive ever again. And I would say that first and foremost, that really has to do with time, or the lack of time that you're going to have when you're using these to transfer files, to work off of, so on and so forth. 7,200 RPM used to be the standard with spinning platters. You know, pretty fast protocol in terms of this, but it's only as fast, and this is USB-C, as the drive itself. Well, it's as fast as a drive and the bus is, and there are ways to get spinning platters to go faster in a RAID type setup, but it's still not going to be anywhere near what you're going to get with something like these X9 Pros from Crucial, the Envoy drives from OWC. And here's a couple of scenarios. About 2 weeks ago, I had to update my MacBook Pro, and I realized that with the daily drop and everything else, it was time to do a full backup of everything to at least a couple of drives, and I did not have any of these SSDs around. I had a couple of 5 terabyte spinning platter 7200 RPM G-Tech drives, and these used to be the standard. This is what I used in production when we were on the road to back things up. How I did it, I have no idea, because I think I was transferring about 2.5 terabytes to these drives a couple of weeks ago, and it was the type of scenario where you start the transfer, you look at the estimated time, and I could not believe it. I basically just went into the house, went to sleep, and hoped that in the morning everything was done. It was brutal, absolutely brutal. This week, we were doing a photography shoot. We shot about 300, 400 gigabytes of stuff to a card, and the transfer to this drive, and then from this drive to another one of these drives, was about 9 minutes. Now, that's not 2.5 terabytes, but do the math, and it's definitely not overnight. It's definitely not an hour. It's really, really fast. The other thing is that there is a gotcha here, which is you've got to get drives that have a very high sustainable read-write speed or speeds, because I've been in situations where I've had SSDs that throttle when you're backing up footage at the end of the day, and they started to perform like a spinning platter drive. So choosing the right SSDs for what you're doing is also very, very important. I've had great luck with the Crucial X9 Pros and the Envoy drives from OWC. Those are a little bit more expensive, and I would say no problems with either. And the amount of time in my life that I've gotten back, except for when I did that backup a couple of weeks ago, is astronomical. I don't know how we did it with the old systems, but from here on out, unless it's in a RAID type configuration, which you can also do with SSDs nowadays, but it does get very expensive, it's portable SSDs all the way for me until something better comes along. All right, I'm going to go rest. Don't forget to. And I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.